Hi guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to discuss on the topic DIAC. The agenda for this session, we will start with the features of DIAC, get the construction of DIAC, draw the equivalent circuit of it, find out how is it operated, draw the VA characteristics, and we will list down the applications and draw the curtains. We will start with the features of DIAC. DIAC stands for diode AC switch. DIAC. Diode AC switch. The features of DIAC: it is a PNPN device, a 4-layer device. It is used as a triggering device and not as a control device, triggering other circuits. It is able to conduct current in both directions. These are the features, these are some of the features of DIAC. We will get to the construction of DIAC. DIAC is a 4-layer device, it's a PNPN device where the top and bottom layers will have both P and N regions. Both the top layer and the bottom layers will have P as well as N region. So, the construction of the DIAC, you could notice from the construction of DIAC, P and N present in the top layer, P and N are present in the bottom layer. So, when you see the left stack, you have a PNPN device. When you see the right hand side of your stack, you have NPNP device. So, you do have a parallel arrangement of two PNPN device. One is a PNPN device, the other is an inverted stack of the PNPN device, which is an NPNP device. So, by this construction, you can get the equivalent circuit of the DIAC. The equivalent circuit is drawn in this way. So, you have two stacks of layers. On to the left stack of your layer consists of PNPN device. So, it is drawn in this way. So, PNPN, and on to the right hand side of your stack you have an NPNP device. So, NPNP, and most importantly, when dealing with the features, we found that your DIAC is going to conduct current in both the directions. So, you cannot name it as anode and cathode here. Instead, now what we do is, we give it a notation main terminal. M, it is designated as MT1, and the bottom terminal is taken as MT2. So, we will have MT1 here, MT2 here. And this being the equivalent circuit. We have got the equivalent circuit of SCR. Now we will try to understand its operation, right? So the operation is understood by having two cases. Case 1, when MT1 is made more positive than MT2. Case 2 would be when MT2 is made more positive than MT1. So these are the two cases which we will take to understand the operation of DIAC. So as you could notice, this DIAC, the structure of this stack of layers resembles an SCR, where you will have junction 1, 2 and 3. Similarly, you do have another structure, another stack of layer which will resemble another SCR. So two SCRs connected parallelly, we can take it in this way, that becomes your arrangement of DIAC. So the operation of SCR comes inside to understand the operation of DIAC. Fine? Okay. Now we will take a case where, we'll take case 1. Case 1 where MT1 is made more positive than MT2. Right? So we will have this as stack 1. We will have this as stack 2. Right? Stack 1 and stack 2. When this is going to be the biasing arrangement, you could notice that this P layer is forward biased, this N layer is forward biased, which means that stack 1 is under forward biasing, whereas stack 2 is reverse biased. N is given a positive terminal, P is connected to the negative terminal, which means that stack 2 is going to be reverse biased. So stack 1 is forward biased and stack 2 is reverse biased. And from the operation of SCR, you could notice that the characteristic curve for a reverse bias is going to be like this, where the current is going to be because of minority carriers. A reverse saturation current is going to flow, which is going to be very, very small. During forward bias, now what happens? You will have an increase in current, then a decrease in voltage, and then an increase in current. So this is how the operation is understood under SCR. Fine. We will take the same concept here. So as this is going to be forward biased, so the current is going to flow from MT1 to MT2. This is the direction of current which will flow. So this is about case 1, right? During case 2, right, where MT1 is made more negative, or rather MT2 is made more positive than MT1. Now what is going to happen? Stack 1 is reverse biased and stack 2 is forward biased. And so the current is going to flow from MT2 to MT1. So current flows MT2 to MT1, and this is for case 2. So this is how diac is operated. Fine? And the inference that we can make out of this is that diac is a semiconductor device which allows current in both directions. So that is the inference that we can make out of this. To understand how it conducts, please refer the video which had been posted earlier on the topic SCR. We will try to get the characteristic curve. From the understanding of this concept, we will try to draw the characteristic curve. So this picture shows the VI characteristics of diac. You could notice from the curve OAB and the curve OCD, you find that they are symmetrical in shape. And so this is the first inference that we can have: symmetrical and identical. This is the first inference that we can get out of the three-parallelogram. This picture shows the VI characteristics of diac, and the characteristic curve is drawn understanding the operation of SCR. No, the characteristic is very similar to that of SCR because two SCRs kept parallel to each other forms a diac. Correct? Okay. So this is drawn based on the characteristic curve of SCR. So from the VI characteristics, we can understand that, or rather, when you name the curves, right, OAB, when you look into the curves OAB and OCD, you could understand that the curves are symmetrical as well as identical. The second point of inference is that the current flows in both directions, right? Even when MT1 is positive as well as when empty one is negative when compared to your empty 2, right? So the current flows in both the directions, and so the inference out of which is a diac could be said as a bilateral symmetrical diode. So this is how you can name bilateral, two direction. It can conduct current in two directions, and the curves are going to be symmetrical, and that's why this is called as a bilateral symmetrical diode. Finally, we will list out the applications of diac. Finally, we will list down the applications of diac. As said earlier, diac is a triggering device. It's not a control device. So they are used as a triggering device for the applications that we have mentioned already in SCR. So you can just look into the video of SCR that has been posted. So it is used as a triggering device for heater controls, for light dimmers, light dimming control, and finally it is used as a triggering device for triac, which is triode AC switch. So these are the applications of diac. Wish that this video had been really helpful for you to understand the concepts of diac, a very simple concept. If you like this video, please subscribe, share your comments and likes, and forget not to click the bell button. Thank you so much for watching. Happy day.